Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. It is, I think it's the 21st or 22nd of December. I think it's 22nd. It's Sunday. So this video is going to be all on our 1958 Chevy Apache build, as you see behind me. So, starting today, we're going to start the build for this car, officially. Where we're working on it pretty much every day and so on and so forth, and parts are getting thrown at it and so on. But like our other ones, like the 40 Ford you see behind me here, I wanted to kind of give you a kind of a idea of how we got the truck and what we paid for it, and kind of what we've done to date, and kind of what some of the plans are, rough plans for the truck are, so that you guys have an understanding of what you're about to be watching, right? For starters, let's start with how we got it. So our channel here, the reason we got the truck in the first place was we were over at Don's house on before we ever did anything on Don's, really. We're helping him put the engine and transmission in it. This is what would it have been, March, I guess. And what happened was I did a couple shorts of the interior of his car, of the 57 Chevy Bel Air. And at that point we had like 100 subscribers. And, you know, we were getting a little views. Most of those were friends and family, so on and so forth, right? And so what we did is I noticed real quick that, you know, these are popular, right? These are really popular. Not that I didn't know that, but it was the first time that it made me think about the channel, and maybe, you know, a lot of people don't know what a Volkswagen thing is, right? A lot of people have never seen a Volkswagen thing. So for them to find our videos on a Volkswagen thing restoration, you know, is, you know, needle in a haystack, basically. So what I decided was, I thought, you know, okay, these things got like over 10,000 views in like a couple hours, right? On Don's 57. And I knew I couldn't afford a 57 Chev at the time. But I knew pickup trucks, and Chevy pickup trucks, and in particular Apaches, are very popular and might be really good for the channel, right? You guys might want to see that, a build on one of these. And so I started looking, and I found one on eBay, of all places. This one here, actually, on eBay, from a guy that ran of all things, and pure happenstance, a Volkswagen bus shop, repair shop in South Carolina. And I got to talking with him, and we agreed on a price, and a week later we went up there and got it. Now, I think we paid $3,200, $3,250, something like that, with a title for this truck. It actually included a Chevy S10 pickup that I didn't take because I didn't need it and didn't want it. I'm not a big fan of doing the not that there's anything wrong with it, don't get me wrong, but I don't like doing put an S10 frame under it and that kind of thing. I like to use the original frames and put like a Mustang 2 or some kind of independent front suspension, triangulated 4-bar, 9-inch Ford, or a 12-bolt or something to that effect. That's kind of my path I like to take. So I didn't need the S10, so I let him keep it. So whatever happened to it, I have no idea. But I took a camera with me, and I documented the whole trip up there. I did a bunch of shorts, and the day we picked it up, the morning of us picking it up, before I posted anything, we had 151 subscribers. 2 days later, okay, we had 500 subscribers. Okay, so clearly popular, right? Most traffic we'd seen, tons of views, and I thought, cool, okay, people want to see this. I'm going to build something that people want to see, because I don't care what I build. It doesn't matter to me. you know, and this is something that I personally love. I'd love to have this truck. But you know, that's not going to be the case, I don't think. So anyway, we get the truck here and we unload it. I did an unloading video, which is actually our most popular video ever. It had like something like 3,000 or 4,000 watch hours of us just unloading this truck off the trailer, right? And I thought, okay, all right, well, that's something. So when Don's car got done and left yesterday, and the thing is, will be done today. We're in there finishing up the exhaust leak, and we're almost done there. Thought, what better thing to do than start on the Apache? Let's knock the Apache out, right? And kind of the idea for this is to be I'd like it to be a 6-month or less budget build of a 1958 Chevy Apache. Now, what I mean by that, okay? You can do these incredibly high-end LS, diesel, you know, all kinds of stuff, you know, air ride, all of that. I'm not going to do that on this truck. What we are going to do on this truck is a very high quality, high detail, okay, which is what wins you car shows. It ain't about how much money you spent, it's how good you did it. Build. So this truck will have, I think I'm going to call CPP and order their Mustang 2 kit for this truck, probably in a month or two, and get with the disc brakes and 2-inch drop spindles and power steering and all of that. I'm not looking to do stainless steel A-arms and all of that. I don't need any of that. So we'll get all of that, and then what we'll do is we'll paint the A-arms, and we'll, you know, make sure everything looks the way it's supposed to look. We'll paint the calipers, we'll do all those kind of things. Details, right? Things you'll be able to see through the wheels, so on and so forth. And we'll do probably a small block Chevy. It was going to get a 454, but the one we were going to get got sold. So is what it is, right? It's just the way the world works. So I'm thinking about doing a 350. I have two options. I can do a 350, either 2-bolt or 4-bolt. I'd probably just build a 4-bolt main with like a set of camel hump heads, just like the motor that's in the 44 that runs amazing. Kind of a 350 to with 400 horse kind of thing. Something we bore out 30 over to have a little 355, you know, peppy, fun car, right? Or fun truck, I should say. Or my dad's buddy, Jack, has not the numbers matching motor, but a motor that came out of one of these. So a 1958 Chevy 283 V8 that came out of one of these. So we could, in fact, put basically the original motor back in it, original type of motor, and go down that road. So that's something we're thinking about. From a motor standpoint, it will be an automatic, probably turbo 350. I have one in the shed, a good one, and column shift, right? I don't want a floor shifter, I want column shift. Make it real easy, make it to where if you're riding your girl around, she can slide across the bench seat and actually get to you, you know, so on and so forth. And we're kicking around rear ends. I have a 9-inch Ford rear end in the back. We're gonna measure today, see if it's the right width or even close. But the rear will be a triangulated 4-bar system, and you know, it'll have power brakes, disc brakes in the rear, or disc brakes in the front, drum brakes in the rear. You know, we're gonna budget build it, right? If we do the 354 bolt or even the 283, I think I'm gonna have the machine shop do the machine work and then give me all the parts, and we'll assemble it here and show you how to build a 350 or a 283, right? And we'll go through that whole process. Just like we did on Ron's. I didn't video it, but that's what we did on Ron's motor. Me and Dad sat here and put it together, which was an awesome experience. I loved it. So that's something that's probably coming. So stay tuned for that. And we're talking, you see how we work on all these other cars, that's exactly how we're gonna be working on this guy. So there's that. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea with the Apache. Budget build, show you guys how to do this, a high quality build. We're going to paint the truck, we're going to do the body work on the truck. Save as many body panels as we can. These old fenders that are all, you know, kind of got rust holes on them, so we're gonna save them. The hood's a great hood. I'm gonna try to save the grill, but if I can't, we'll figure that out. But a lot of the pieces on this are actually pretty decent. We're going to use the original doors, original passenger side rear fender, and I'm kicking around finding a non-spare tire driver's fender. So right now it has one where you put the spare tire there. It's got the indent in it. I think it'd be a little more hot rod looking without a spare tire hanging out the side, but my wife wants me to put the spare tire on it. So I don't know. We'll see where that goes. Yeah, well, but there's a couple pieces for the bed I need to buy. I need to buy a tailgate, a new tailgate, and I need to get a new, the tailgate I had went to Uncle Billy Bob, and it was rough. We were never going to use it anyway. It's on his wall in his barn. Hi, Uncle Billy Bob. And the front panel of the bed is pretty ate up, and beat up. So I think I'll get a new one of those. But we'll keep the bed sides and hopefully the cross sections. And then obviously the floor of the bed and all those metal strips and whatnot will be new. The dash in this truck is really good. I want to use the original seat. I'm going to send it out, have it redone. I'm thinking about doing something with like a Native American theme, right? Kind of like a Navajo blanket kind of idea on the seat, something to that effect, or something to that effect with it, right? I'm thinking turquoise and white roof, turquoise body, white around the headlights, the headlight rings, white on the grill, white on the bumpers, India ivory, and I think tropical turquoise. I think it's turquoise I'm gonna use. The one I used on the 57 dash is what I'm gonna paint this car with, this truck with. I think. And then on the tailgate where it says Chevrolet, we'll do the tailgate in turquoise, the letters in white, stuff like that, just details, right? And I might actually get a little graphic or make a graphic of an Apache, of an Apache that has that we can actually put on the brake calipers and stuff. So. Okay guys, let's kind of do a walk around of our Apache, kind of see what we've got, what we're dealing with right out of the gate. That way we can refer back to this if we need to. So let's start with the front. The hood's in good shape. Hood's been taken down to bare metal and metal conditioned and primed with the Eastwood epoxy primer. Same with the roof. So we've got some issues with the fenders. We got a hole here on the passenger front. We've got an issue here we've got to deal with, and we have this down here on this fender. Now, we did buy the patch panel that comes up to about here that covers this, so this is already, consider that fixed, or at least the solution is here. As we come around the front, I've got where you can see here where they come together. The grill and the fender piece here, there's been a patch put in here and here. We'll have to deal with that. We have some rot here. You know, there's some issues we need to take care of. Nothing horrible, just stuff we got to do. This panel is really good. I have no issues there. I just got to unbolt it. This side is about the same as the other. You know, you got some, you know, weight reduction, I guess. So you got all this. That's what we got to fix on the front. Core support's in good shape. The headlight buckets are in good shape, and the headlight rings are perfect. They're mint. So we do have that, which is really, really good. The driver's fender, same thing, front cancer. Got a little cancer here. And I see Bondo and stuff here. I'm going to assume that this is probably not great down here, so I might need another patch panel, but we are going to take it to bare metal and see what we got. So we got that. Doors are relatively good shape. I have an issue here. You can see where they flex a little bit. Probably need to put door patch panel on the bottom of the doors or reattach that. These holes from the mirrors, we'll go ahead and fill those, the ones we don't need. We are going to keep stock door handles on it, so we don't have to worry about that. Inside of the door is in really good shape. Really good shape, so I'm happy with that. Rockers are bent up a little bit from where we picked it up with the forklift, but I do have new rockers, so we can take care of that. Floor's in somewhat decent shape. I can see where there was a repair here on both sides, I believe, so it might end up needing a front section of a floor. Not sure. We'll figure that out. If it does, we'll get it. This is our seat. Gas tank doesn't look too bad. This area back here looks pretty good. Up and around. Roof. Now, we do have cancer up here, which we're going to have to take care of. And we have some here, right? And we got a little rot here, which isn't great, but it's not the end of the world. So we'll take care of that. This column will come out of here, and I'll put probably an I did it or something like that in it. It's going to be a tilt with column shift. Honestly, I might use this column. Depends on how this all works out. If it's usable, I'll use it. Our window mechanisms, they work good. So, no issues really there. It binds up a little bit at the bottom, but that's not bad. Cozies work, you know. Can open the cozies. So, that's good. All the glass will get replaced. Dome light's still there. Gauge cluster, I think I'm going to do it a coated digital just because I want it. We'll put the new knobs and buttons in, the glove box back in. Probably do vintage air, get rid of the original blower unit back down here. All of this wiring will get pulled out of here. We're not going to use any of this wiring. Get it out of here and just go with the new set. That just makes me think I need cab corners, and I probably do. So we'll probably do cab corners on it. But everything else back here looks pretty good. It's not all beat to hell, which is great. Got a dent here, but nothing bad. We can hammer dolly most of that out. So, not bad from this standpoint. I do have the piece that covers here, just like that side. And they're mint. I have no issues there. I've got all the doors and stuff for the dash and the glove box door. They're in perfect condition. So really not worried about that. Now, one thing we may or may not do is relocate the tank back here. If we do put it back here, one thing I do not want is the gas filler in the bed. I would rather have like a Hagen door like on the back fender here, where you push the button like a new car. That might be a thing. It'll get probably stock tail lights. This is the rear bumper we will use. We are going to keep this piece here. This is the fender we're going to replace because it's got this cutout for the spare tire. So this will come off, this fender will come off, and then this front panel here I'm going to replace because it's pretty beat. So go ahead and replace that, and it's cheap. But I want to keep the side rails, the rear bumper, cross rails here all seem pretty good. These seem solid all the way across. It's just these guys here, and the wood's all rotted out of it. So you can see where I started pulling it up a little bit. So we'll replace the wood, slats. This fender's going to stay. We'll take it down to bare metal, patch it up, and put it back in. Same as this, but pretty solid old truck. Definitely need a door bottom on this this door, cab corner door bottom, and we have the patch panel like we already talked about there. Same thing with the mirrors. We'll weld up what holes we need to. We'll probably put a cool mirror on this, find something that looks right. One thing I'm definitely going to put back on it is the emblems that go here, the Apache emblems. The one I'm on the fence about is the hood. I don't know if I want the big hood one. I gotta figure that out still. But we will have wipers, we will have all the things, and yeah, so that's kind of what we're starting with. Now the idea is to get the bed off of it, get the front end off of it, get the cab off of it, kind of break this thing down into parts, start getting all the parts to bare metal, getting them metal worked and rough body worked and primed, and then from there get them put back into storage in the shed in the back or wherever we can fit them, and get this down to where we need to get to the frame. So get all this off, get to the frame, and then when we get to the frame we'll order that Mustang too, and we'll drag out the 9-inch if it fits, and we'll start boxing the frame and doing all the things we need to do to the actual suspension and all of that for this truck. And it will go down substantially. So we're gonna do Mustang 2 with the 2-inch drop spindles, and in the rear we'll have coilovers and coilovers or shocks, one or the other, but it'll be lower in the rear by a lot. So it won't be sitting as high as it does right now. And yeah, all of this original stuff will come off and we'll go with the modern suspension. No air ride, nothing like that. Just keeping it a nice little budget build, nice pickup truck, pretty truck people like, and that's kind of the idea. So anyway guys, stay tuned. We're going to start working on this thing here in a little bit.